Okay, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. We are delighted to welcome you to the first Blazie Technologies webinar of 2026. As New Year is underway, and we're really off to a fantastic start here at Blazie Technologies. And as many of you know, at the end of last year, we released a major BT Speak software update on Christmas morning. And some of you may have noticed that the release went live precisely at 0 UTC, honoring the Universal Time Standard. So depending on where you were in the world, that meant that the update arrived on Christmas Day or in the early morning hours, or maybe even during the twilight of Christmas Eve for those of us here in California. And if you're in Hawaii, you got it much earlier than that, probably in the afternoon of Christmas Eve. So tonight we're joined by David Goldfield, who will walk us through the highlights of that update. And if you missed it, he's going to tell you what's new and what's exciting. He's going to demonstrate at least one of the new features. And after that, as always, we'll open things up for your questions. But before we dive in, I want to share some exciting news, and that's that BT Braille has officially begun shipping to our early adopters. And we're already seeing great progress. In fact, feedback from those early adopters has led to several meaningful improvements in the physical design. And that means that we've taken suggestions from those early adopters and very quickly um, incorporated those suggestions in the physical case. And secondary iteration units have already been shipped to the very first BT Braille recipients. Now, we understand that not everybody that has ordered has received it yet, and we truly appreciate everyone's patience during this phase. Our goal is to deliver the best possible product, and we're making steady yet tangible progress toward shipping every outstanding order. And to that end, actually, Brian is currently on his way to meet with our manufacturers to pick up new BT Braille boards so that we can continue fulfilling those orders. And so if you're still waiting, thanks for your patience, and you should be among those receiving it soon once we get those new boards. So thank you all for being a part of this journey, and now let's get started with the discussion of the new update. So on to you, David.
Hey, thanks so much, Stephen. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and hope that those who celebrate it had a good Christmas or Hanukkah. And I hope everybody is having a good and peaceful New Year. As Stephen said, it's really great to be with you guys on the first webinar of the year. We still plan to have these webinars on a monthly basis, just as we have had for much of last year. And we're going to continue to have them the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I do want to also say that one of the things that's on my plate to start working on is we're going to have more training webinars as well on Zoom, in addition to the monthly, webinars where we tell you what's going on and you can ask us questions. We want to have some more focused trainings on different aspects of the BT Speak and, of course, BT Braille as well. So stay tuned for info about that. I think you'll enjoy those, and 2026 is the year that I really want to launch additional training webinars. Okay, so as Stephen said, we released an update on Christmas. We were really excited to do it. Most companies do not like to release software updates on a major holiday. There are good reasons for that, but we wanted to be different and do something special for Christmas. And so, as Stephen said, we did release the update on Christmas morning. So I want to first talk about some of the things that we have added in this update, and so that you have an idea of what we did for those who might have a BT Speak and who haven't yet updated. By the way, this update is available if you have either a maintenance contract or if your BT Speak is still under its 90-day warranty. So remember, when you first get a BT Speak, you get a 90-day warranty, and after that, you have the option of purchasing a maintenance contract that allows you to receive an exchange device if there's a hardware issue that we are not able to resolve by phone. I mean, that doesn't normally happen, but in the event that it does, you don't have to send your unit back to us and wait for us to repair it. We send you an exchange, you keep the exchange, you send the old one back to us. That is one of the big benefits of a maintenance contract. The other benefit, of course, is that you can continue to receive updates. So if you have a maintenance contract or warranty, you are able to get this special update that we released on December 25th. If you don't have a maintenance contract, and if you know or believe that your unit is out of warranty, or you just want to check on that status, you can give us a call during business hours at 772-214-1616, or you can email us at support@blazie.net. But calling us is probably good if you're not sure. You can purchase a maintenance contract through our website at blazietech.com. Go to the link that says shop, and you'll see either a maintenance contract that you can pay for the entire year up front, or you can pay for the annual contract in monthly installments. So you can do either or, and then you will have coverage for your BT Speak, and you'll be able to get this update. So enough of that preamble. Let's talk about what we added. So one of the big features that we've added, we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm really glad to see it become a reality, is something that we call Smart Help. So the BT Speak already has a lot of help files on all different topics. I think we've got around 60 of them at the moment. We might even have a little more than that. And they cover everything: the editor, the calculator, desktop mode. We even have one on Thunderbird and web browsing, just everything. And of course, that's context sensitive. So, for example, if you're in the calculator and you press H chord, you can get calculator help. If you're in the editor, you're writing a document, you press H chord, you get editor help. That hasn't changed. That's still there, and it's always going to be there. But Smart Help utilizes AI, artificial intelligence, so that rather than, just going through a help topic or finding the help topic you want, you can directly ask it a question like, how do I slow down the speech? Or how do I put my BT Speak to sleep? Or how much does my BT Speak weigh? You can even ask it that if you're curious, and it'll tell you. It's getting that information from the BT Speak manual that we released in September. There is a new edition that we're working on that has a lot more content. I'm still not done because I'm trying to add all of the new features into it. I had hoped to get it done by Christmas in time for the update. That obviously didn't happen. Hopefully I'll get it done before next Christmas, but I do plan to get it done pretty soon. And eventually we'll make sure that the AI can reference that manual. What that means is that there may be some things, and in fact, there will be some things that the AI won't know about. But it knows about a lot of stuff. And this is a way that rather than you reading through a topic, you can zero in on what you want by asking a question and getting a very direct, specific response from the AI. I'm going to be demonstrating that after I talk to you about the different features that we have. So that's called Smart Help, and it's in the update. Okay, we've also added some improvements to Google Drive, including being able to actually open files without having to download them first. So that should make reading files on Google Drive a lot more efficient. We've also added some new lessons for BT Code. BT Code's gotten some really great response. And that is the application that allows you to not only learn how to program in Python, but you can get advice and help with an AI with different personas or personalities. We've added some additional lessons and challenges and done some additions to the music functions. So there's a lot there. You can read all of the details about this, by the way, in the release notes. We have added two big changes to YouTube Stream. One of them is a fix. We noticed that sometimes you might have had some problems playing some videos in the previous updates. So I think we have definitely fixed that. We haven't received any uh, concerns from customers indicating that that's still going on. So I think we've really taken care of that. But the other big thing that we've added is that now when you play a YouTube video, you're in the same now playing screen that you're in when you play a podcast. What that does is it gives you a lot more control as well as controls over what you hear. So just as an example, just like in the speech settings page, you can press dot 4 to make the video louder or dot 1 to make it softer. There are different keystrokes for jumping, forward and back by different increments. And you can go to the help topic and read the now playing help topic, and you can get a list of all of the commands. It's pretty intense, but really the goal is that you've got more control by giving you more keyboard shortcuts and more menu options over your YouTube video, more than you had in the previous update. So we think you'll like the changes to YouTube Stream. One of the other things we've done is we've made the calculator even more powerful. Now, in my opinion, this calculator was already really powerful. Of course, you can continue to do the basic four functions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And we had a lot of scientific functions already there. It did some really amazing stuff and still does. But we've added even more. And Braille and Speak and other Blazie engineering customers will notice that it now has a lot of commands and functions that were in the Braille and Speak calculator. For example, we have metric conversions, so you can convert, gallons to liters or miles to kilometers. It's really great that way. Fahrenheit to Celsius, but there's a lot more. Quite frankly, if you guys saw the grades that I had in my math courses, you will realize that I am far from qualified to be talking about this in any great detail. But the bottom line is the powerful calculator that we've always had is even more powerful. It's much more efficient. We've done some internal changes to it as well. And I think you're going to find this is the most powerful calculator that you're that you've got anywhere. So those are some of the features that we have added in the December update. As I said, if you're under a warranty or maintenance contract, if you have not already downloaded it, if you're still running the November update or earlier, feel free to grab it as long as you're on a Wi-Fi network. You just go to Options, M for BT Speak Management, and U for Check for Updates. It'll say a new update is available. Do you want it? You want to install it? You press Y for yes, and it'll download pretty quickly in most cases, and you should have it. If you're under maintenance contract and you're not able to download it for some reason, we think we can easily walk you through a process to register that unit so that your BT Speak knows that it's under maintenance contract. So we can walk you through that with a phone call or an email. Okay, let's talk about the Smart Help feature so that you can actually see how this works. So I've got a BT Speak in front of me. Just going to position this a little bit. Okay. And the way we get to Smart Help is H-chord, just like you would expect, except we add .8. So it's H-chord with .8, and I'm going to do that now.
How can I help?
It says, how can I help? So I'm in the Smart Help feature. So I'm going to say,
Space. Space. Space.
how do I
Space.
write an
Space.
email? I'm going to press enter, and it's important to say at this point that your BT Speak does have to be connected to a Wi-Fi network for this to work because it's going out over the internet to do this. When I press enter, I'm going to feel a few vibrations that you probably won't hear, and then we should get the answer.
From your current location, you'll first need to enter desktop mode by pressing the dots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chord.
Okay, and I did slow this down, but I'm gonna
Speech control, rate 0.
slow that
Exit.
down a little bit more.
Blank. Once you're in desktop mode, you can write an email using the Thunderbird email client. Blank. 1. Open Thunderbird. Press O chord. Then navigate to the Internet submenu and select Thunderbird. You can also 2.
Okay.
Compose a new message. After Thunderbird
So
opens,
you can
press
see-
X chord followed by N. This will open the new message window.
Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but the point is it very specifically answered the question that I asked, and that's really cool. Now, I'm going to press Z chord to get out of this, and we're going to be greeted with, depending on what we choose, 1 or 2 questions. So I'll press Z chord now.
Was this answer helpful? Default is yes.
Okay, was this answer helpful? The reason why it's asking that is because AI, being what it is, occasionally you might get some vague or, answers that may not be what you expect. In this case, the answer was helpful, gave some very specific information, it gave some very specific steps. You notice that it said from where you are, because Smart Help tries to figure out where you are when you press H chord with .8, and it tries to give you steps based on where you are. I was in the editor, actually, so it was correct. The first thing it said was, you got to go into desktop mode first. So it said, was this answer correct? I'm going to press enter for yes.
Exit.
And it said exit. But let's say that the answer was not correct, or maybe it was correct, but you felt that it could have been more complete. When it says, was this answer helpful, you can also press N for no. When you do that, it will then ask if you'd like to submit feedback. And if you press Y for yes, you'll be in an edit field. You can write feedback that will go directly to us, and you can explain why you felt that the answer wasn't helpful. When you are done writing that feedback, you can then press Control S to save/send that feedback. If you think about it, Control S is often used as a save command. That's true on word processors on other computers. It's even true in the editor on the BT Speak. It's also true, by the way, in LibreOffice Writer or most other LibreOffice apps. So the easiest way to do that, when you're done submitting feedback or writing your feedback, you want to submit it, you press the letter S with dots 7 and 8 together. You should also be able to press X chord S. I'll show you one more. By the way, that feedback, as long as you're on the internet, it'll submit that feedback. We'll see it, and we'll be able to take a look at it and act on it. So I'm going to I'll do one more demo for you.
How can I help?
I pressed H chord with .8, remember? It said, how can I help? I'm going to write,
Space.
how
Space.
do I
Space.
slow down
Y. Space.
speech? The reason why you heard the letter Y is because I made a typo, so I backspaced it and corrected it. Okay, press enter. I'll probably feel about 3 vibrations on the device. Again, you probably won't hear that. Vibration.
From your current location.
Okay, it doesn't read the entire answer, which I think is actually good. It just reads the first line. So it says, okay, from your current location. Well, I want to know what to do, so I can read this just like any other document.
1. S chord.
S chord.
Blank. Once you're there, BT Speak will announce speech controls. To slow down the speech, press .2.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Z chord to exit.
Okay.
End of file.
And let's exit out of this.
Was this answer helpful? Default is yes.
Yep, that answer was very helpful. So I'll press, I could press Y for yes or enter. I'll just press enter.
Exit.
Now I'm back wherever I was when I pressed H chord with .8. And that is really how the Smart Help works. So this is in the December update that you're free to download if you are under a 90-day warranty or a maintenance contract. So that's what you can look forward to with Smart Help. We do plan, once the new manual is ready, I'm hoping that I can get that done the first quarter of this year. I think I can do it. If I can just lock myself in a room and just really focus on nothing else, I can do it. And I really enjoy doing the writing and the editing, and Stephen does a lot of that himself. So there are lots of hands that go into that manual. But there are things that I still want to add, including all of the things in the last 2 updates. And every once in a while, I'll find something that didn't make it into the manual that really should have been there. So it's a constant work in progress. But the point of all of this is that once we get that together, hopefully we can update the AI for Smart Help, and we'll make it even more helpful, more accurate, and more complete. Okay, that's the demo, Stephen. I'll kick it back to you if you have anything that you would like to add to this. If not, I guess we can start taking questions.
Thanks, David. And that was a great demo. And we'll open it up to questions right away. Looks like we've got a number of you in the room. And we're going to go to Michael Harris.
I was wondering if you guys have ever thought of in the file browser. I was wanting to move some files around the other day, and I actually used Smart Help to remind me how to select the file. But I wonder if you have ever thought of, I know that's how the Braille and Speak was to do it, but I wonder if you've ever thought of having like where we could just push Control C to copy the file and then go to the new location and press Control V to paste it. Uh, rather than doing like the X and then hitting the plus sign and all that kind of stuff.
You know what? I'll be really honest. I don't want to say we haven't thought of it. It didn't occur to me. Maybe our developers did. And B, that is an absolutely brilliant idea. And I do mean that, Michael. And I think that would
Thank
be
you.
more, yeah, that would really make the process more intuitive. Considering we already use the standard cut, copy, and paste commands in an editor. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know what would be involved in doing it from a development standpoint. So I can leave it up to our developers to comment on that. Assuming that it can be done, I think that at some point we really should visit that and see what we can do about it. I really love the idea because if we had done that, that's one less thing you would have had to look up because you would have
Yeah,
just guessed and said, "Huh, I wonder if I can do Control C." And
yeah. Because
that's really why we added
I
that in the
actually
editor.
tried it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, it's you can do that in files, but not to move them around. So,
Yeah, we should be able to do that. I mean, obviously, copying files is different from copying text. So again, I don't want to back the developers up in a corner and say, oh yeah,
sure.
we can do that because there may be some valid reasons for why that could be a challenge.
Yeah.
So that's something I would leave for someone like Tim Noonan, Simon Hayes, Steve Clower. That those guys would know about the pros and cons from a development standpoint for doing that. I will say from a user standpoint, that is a win to me. Um, that's just so intuitive. And honestly, that's why we added those commands in the editor last year because they were so standard.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep, I love the idea.
All right. Thanks, Michael. We're going to go to James.
I have a comment and a thought on the thing you just talked about with Michael. You and Michael just talked about.
Okay.
Spacebar is currently used to advance through the file browser to the next item. If we're going to be using Control C and Control V to copy, Control X, Control Z, and Control V to copy, cut, and paste X, we wouldn't want to be like we'd want to maybe change the X key from mark the current file selection to like space or something like that, and then maybe it would be kind of, and then like space and backspace at the same time moves up one. So you'd want to think about that too, and you also, and then so that's my comments on that.
Mm-hmm.
So like just we would want to think about whether do we want to change space to the select a current file instead of go down to the next file. And my next thing is please include a shortcut to go up one level of folder in the File Explorer by the QWERTY keyboard because I don't know how to type the left quote mark that's created by pressing space and backspace at the same time. That is what goes up through the hierarchy.
Ah, yes, I see. Okay. Well, yes, I see. I see.
We'll
Okay.
relay the message to Tim Noonan.
Yeah, yeah. Fair
Make sure he
point.
gets it done.
We'll do that. And to your comment, yeah, I like the idea. We One of the things that I learned, this was never really stressed to me, it was more just done by example. I always get a little nervous when we start changing established commands, even if that change is a logical one. I personally like the idea of having the spacebar, used to mark or unmark a file. That is very intuitive also. The problem is that in menus we have, I don't want to say we've backed ourselves into a corner, but we've set a precedent by allowing the convention of space to move forward and backspace to move back. And there's always a risk when you change an established convention, even for something that is a better one. But maybe there could be a mode, like, you hit this key and, oh, hello, you're in you're in file copy and paste mode or something. And then you could have the space bar maybe select or unselect a file. You know, that I could see. And I think that might be a good compromise for what you're suggesting.
We're going to go to Brandon.
Okay, got a couple ideas.
Mhm.
One, have you ever thought of using backspace as a way to go back when you're in a list of subfolders up to a different directory, or is it just Z chord only?
No, you can actually use I think it's the space bar with backspace does that.
Oh, okay. And here's a option for the calculator.
Hmm.
Fraction/decimal mode SD chord on older devices. Yes or no? In future.
I'm
The
going to
Braille
leave
speak
that.
had fraction mode and decimal mode. You used to hit SD chord to go between the two in the
Oh, I
calculator.
forgot about that.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
I remember 99% of those commands except for that one. I'm going to leave that with folks like Stephen Blazie to comment if they wish to do so. I think that's better
Yeah, I
for
just
me.
thought I'd bring that up, and I remember the degrees in radiance used to be R chord in the
Yeah,
calculator.
I think we addressed that.
That one he did address in this update,
Mhm.
but I know the
Fraction
decimal and
mode.
fraction mode was never talked about. And you mentioned feature parity. I thought, okay, there's
You
one.
know, you're right. You know, as one of my old talking, as the Franklin language master used to say, you got me.
Yeah.
So I know you're right, and I forgot about it. I would imagine we can add it. I'll certainly, we'll consider it put on the suggestions list because, we've got some of our team on the call, and those who aren't, I'll make sure they know about it.
And how is it also with getting the BNS programs running in emulation mode for the BT speed? Because I know you guys were initially working on that.
Keep watching this space.
Oh, good. Now we
That
just
that
need
that
to.
doesn't mean, I'm committing to it. I'm just saying keep watching this space.
All right. We go to Joe.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Hi,
We
Joe.
can. Hey, Joe.
That is the most common question these days. Anyway, first of all, I love the your reference, David, to the old language master. That's some good stuff. Uh,
Thanks.
my question is regarding the BT code, and this is just a observation more than anything. I know I did a demo a few when BT Code first came out and sent it into the support team about some issues that I was having with the editor. And of course, those were fixed. My question now is I have a block of code that I keep trying to paste into Cody uh, for it to analyze and give me some tips on how it works, but it only pastes half the code, and I'm wondering if that's due to the fact that there's uh, maybe return characters in the code, to signify a new line, or if there's anything that can be done about that. I can definitely record another demo to talk about it. But
That makes sense now that you mention it. That's due to a size limit in that particular type of input for the Ask Cody feature, I assume is what you're talking about.
yes,
And that could be, I guess we could expand the size limit of what you can ask Cody. But beyond that, we have plans to allow, asking Cody inside the code editor as well,
ooh,
down the
nice.
road. And so, hopefully these kinds of, direct communication with Cody will be much easier in the near future.
Okay, so I'll try what I haven't thought of until just now is to just try to see if it'll work in the AI chat application. Um, so, but yeah, that'll be cool whenever, uh, if that could be implemented, that'd make it a lot easier.
I'll make a note of that. Sure.
Thanks so much. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe. We
Thanks, Joe.
appreciate it.
All right, we're going to go to Scott.
All right. I don't know if anyone's aware. I'm sure customers are aware of this. The ACB media channels are no longer, they seem to have been lost in the radio tuner under the blindness community.
Oh my
They're
heavens.
not.
No,
It seemed like, I think they've been going for several weeks. I think, because for a while they weren't playing in the ACB Link app, and now they are. So they might have ACB might have done some sort of server updating on their end or some kind, and it just hasn't reflected in the radio database because I've tried refreshing the database too, which hasn't worked.
Um, no, I was not aware, and believe it or not, we haven't received any customer feedback
That's
about
surprising
those
because
streams. Yeah,
surprising because I'm sure I know there's got to be a lot of ACB members and people who listen to the ACB media stuff that with BT speaks. You'd think. Of course, a lot of us have iPhones too. We can listen to it on that.
Yeah, well, I'll check into that tomorrow. As you say, maybe ACB did some updating. I don't recall. I mean, I keep up with what they're doing, and I don't recall them sending out a note indicating that things were changing. But on the other hand, when you're listening
Yeah,
to them on different devices, those
yeah.
devices tend to update. So we'll look into it and
Just
we'll
thought I might mention it. I thought
I know, I
everybody was
appreciate it.
aware.
I would really like to see those streams
Yeah,
working
because
as
everything
much as
else seems to be there. NFBRN and
uh-huh.
other stuff. I think is still there. So
Okay, yeah, no, thank you for making us aware. I had no idea, honestly. This is the first time I've heard it or heard about
all
this.
right. That's all I had. Thanks.
Okay,
All
thanks
right,
a
thanks,
lot.
Scott. Gonna go to James.
Hey, I just wanted
Yeah.
to mention the reason that I mentioned using space to select a file is because if we were going to change Control X to do something else and then use X to mark the file, that would make me kind of confused. So my mind was already starting to go down the rabbit hole of, oh no, and also pasting. There is no cut command in the File Explorer. You just mark what you want to do, then
Yes.
you press plus, and then you're asked if you want to delete. So it's a little bit
Yeah.
different. I guess you could map Control C and Control X to the same thing, but you certainly would. But then, like, I love it. I love it the way it works. Anyway, enough. And yeah, so I'm closing up the rabbit hole.
No, no worries. I appreciate it. Rabbit holes can be interesting and helpful, and they're not always a bad thing. They're so yeah. No, I hear where you're coming from.
All right. Going to Brandon one more time.
Okay, I should have asked this earlier, but have you guys ever thought of, now that you got smart help and coding and things of that nature, have you ever thought of making it to where you could use your microphone and dictate stuff? Because everything else does it.
We've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to hear from one person that it would be considered useful.
Yeah, I just thought that'd be a good thing because everything else has dictation these days.
Right. Well, good suggestion. Thanks. I'm going to go to Brian.
Two questions. One, or suggestions maybe. Um, One is, I wonder if you could, if it could be possible to be able to record when using the internet radio feature.
Oh boy, you are not the first person to ask about that.
Sure, I'm not.
Yeah, you are not, and I understand why you would want to do that. Ideally, if we were to implement that, we should make sure that you can record on external media, because if you start recording long streams on the BT Speak, especially if you already have a lot of podcasts and stuff, we don't want you to quickly run out of room. But to your point, yeah, it's something other people have asked for. So we know there's a desire for it.
Yeah, well, I have an SD card in my ET Speak that would love to be able to take the
Yes.
media. So
Yeah.
it would be possible. The other question I have is, thanks to Jonathan Molson, is it possible um, to navigate podcasts by chapter?
Currently, no. But that doesn't mean we have to be stuck with that experience.
Well, I
So,
navigate by 30 or 60 seconds now to skip through things, but I'm a big podcast listener of Jonathan Molson, so he does everything by chapters. It makes it really easy to go through his stuff and pick and choose.
oh yeah, and other podcasts do as well. I'm a big fan of chapter navigation, and maybe it's something. We should definitely look into that for an update for this year, and we'll certainly put that down. Believe it or not, we haven't gotten a lot of requests for that yet, but we do know that chapter navigation is a current limitation. But I think it's I think it's one that we can overcome.
Well, you guys are doing a great job in so many ways. I basically use the BT Speak, not so much on the desktop side, but on the original Braille and Speak usage, and
Yeah.
I love it. I love taking notes and editing, and doing a lot of other things, podcasts and internet radio, and I plan to move over and try to figure out how to do email eventually. But anyway, I just want to say thank you once again. I think I spoke to you once before, David, and you guys are all doing a great job. Keep up the good work. And thank you.
Thanks for your comments.
Thanks,
That's really
Brian.
kind.
All right, we're going to try Charlene again.
Hello.
Hey, we got you. Hi,
I
Charlene.
think those Zoom gods are probably trying to help you, because they're probably going to ask the question nobody wants to ask, or you talked about it before we got in. It took us a minute. But what's happening with the BT Braille?
Oh yeah, Stephen actually did give an update on that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed it. I
Okay.
apologize.
Well, we've begun shipping them, and we're going to be shipping more of them soon. That's really the bottom line.
Oh, good. I was like, is it ever going to come?
In fact, I was talking to Brian recently, Charlene, and your name came up, and so I believe that you'll be one of the next ones to receive it.
Oh,
Brian's
good.
on his way to the manufacturers to get new boards as we speak, and so we hope that will be soon.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. I
Great,
had to
thanks.
go unplug my HomePod in order to stop it from broadcasting so that I could get unmuted and speak to you guys.
No
It's been a
worries.
weird day for technology.
Okay.
And I think that's all for questions. Did you have anything to add, David?
So I just want to thank everybody for joining us on this webinar. We'll be meeting again on the first Tuesday of February. And if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing and all the latest updates about our products, you can visit our website, www.blazitech.com. You can find us on most of the big social media channels. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on Mastodon, and we're talking about getting on a few others this year. I think that's something you'll see in the coming year as well. I think we need to be on every social media platform that we can be and meet people wherever they would like us to meet them. With that, I just want to thank you for joining us. Thanks to all of you for your support, for your kind words, for your feedback, and for all of the comments and suggestions. We've gotten some really good suggestions for upcoming features that I've really liked, and we'll leave the final word to the development team to see what they can and cannot do. But based on what I've seen in the past year, I don't think there's not much that they that they really can't do. I'm just so impressed with these updates as we release them. Believe me, they blow me away as much as they blow you guys away. And I'm a visually impaired user also, so I look at it from that perspective as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a good evening and Happy New Year from Blazie Technologies.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.